the youth of tomorrow. VISD, right? 920 grand, bam, they're in.
I might do it.
We do 2 shows and go to the Bahamas. What are you talking about?
I don't know what I did, to be honest, and why the sound just appeared, because I didn't. Everything was where it needed to be. So,
but on a real quick note, I'll share with you that.
Did we do the weather?
Yeah, you whipped it. It said this out.
Yeah,
that's what it said.
Well, I remember doing that.
55 degrees in Victoria, 55 degrees over at Dearden Feed. Heading to a high today of 89.
Well, they're down a little lower. It might be a little more.
Might be 50. Yeah, okay.
57.
57-ish. The reality is, we talk about it every day. That's why they pay us. Everything you need for your home, ranch, tack room, and beautiful things and fun things to hang on the wall. I mean, it's a fun place to go. If you go to Dearden Feed,
it's a lively livery.
Yes. If you go there looking for a concentrate to kill ants, you're going to leave there with more than one thing. Maybe it's a new pocket knife. Maybe it's some kind of a hummingbird feeder.
You could leave there with 3 different products because you want to try them all.
Absolutely. But I'll tell you folks, those of you that know, remember our friend, the psychologist, Randy Gutenberg, author and real motivational guy. He said, he goes, I love your show. I wish you guys could go national. The only chance we have of going
That's
national.
That's just him being selfish so he can get us in his market.
Well, the only chance we have of going national is if Enterprise is out of cars. That's it. It's the only chance we've got.
That's it.
But I would love to do it where we have a reach. We do have a large reach. We've got a buddy that gets up at 5:30 in the morning to listen to us live in Sacramento.
Jeremy Levinson this morning. He's up in the Seattle area.
That's awesome.
He's in Apple Country.
Yeah, where we're still waiting for our rocket apples. I mean, I know what they are.
The COVID. It's been so long, I've almost forgotten what they taste like.
The COVID? The trees don't know about the COVID.
No, but the pickers and the processors do. HR Mallory, first one this morning. Good morning to you, Judge
Dawn was
Posey.
the first one in. I saw it on the first video.
Natalie Mayer, good morning. Chris Conrad.
Good morning, Judge.
Crystal Stringham. John Paul Hall. BJ Nelson. Lisa Poole. Bobby Leister.
BJ Nelson says it's like a Peanuts cartoon. Are you Lucy? Which one of us holds the football and jokes it out from under Charlie Brown?
I don't know. You're Lucy.
You're more like Pigpen.
I always like kickers.
Yeah, but it's funny. You would think that just once they would let Charlie kick the ball.
I know. Wow.
It would be wide right, like he played for the Bills.
You couldn't let Charlie make it because it would ruin his whole persona, right?
So, hey, for those of you, this is an aside. The show can be called Aside.
You can always listen online at magic95victoria.com as well.
So here's my question. You guys think about what I'm fixing to say. I listened to an NFL announcer yesterday say, hey, 7 teams in the NFL that are undefeated. Those teams are. In the NFC, you have Seattle, Chicago, and the Packers. All undefeated, 3-0. But only 3-0. They're not playing a 5-game season.
No.
3-0. Then on the AFC side, you have the Bills, the Steelers, the Kansas City Chiefs, and Buffalo. No, the Bills, Steelers, Kansas City Chiefs, and one more. Not the Bills, is the Buffalo. So, one more. Undefeated.
Steelers, Chiefs, Bills.
Help me, folks. Where am I drawing a blank? There's one other team that's 3-0. It irritates the dog crap out of me that I can't remember 7 teams.
Well, I mean, there's 7 teams.
No, it's just they're 3-0. It's you're gonna go, oh well, of course it's because it's so obvious once you see it. Who else is 3-0 in the AFC?
Tennessee.
The Tennessee Titans. That's why, because they won't be 3-0 very long.
No.
So Don Criqui says, hey, look, the 2 Super Bowl teams are going to come out of those 7 teams. Well, you go, well, duh.
Boy, you went out on a limb.
3-0, but look, he's telling you that in the NFC, it's either going to be the Bears, the Packers, or the Seahawks. And he may be right. But I started thinking, we both just said, wow, big, bold prediction. But how about this?
Because it ain't coming out of the NFC East.
No. I mean, no.
And it's probably not coming out of the NFC South. New Orleans could get hot.
New Orleans got smoked again on Sunday.
Yeah.
They've lost 2 in a row.
Tampa Bay does have Brady. There's that.
So what do you do? Yeah, Tampa Bay is a team that might, it's like a turbo kicking in. Like they could go nuts down the stretch and win 8 in a row, you know? But what do you think if I told you, it just kind of comes back to J.P. Hull and his buddies do their football over and under. Baseball over and under. One team gets to pick the number of wins. The other team says, I think the Astros will win more, or I don't think the Astros will win that many. So there's some pressure to get the number right, because if I said 120, well, then you would go, fine, I'll take the under, because nobody's won 120 games in a long time. Well, if I told you right now, you can have the 7 teams and have to have the 2 Super Bowl teams in those 7, or you can have the field. You can have everybody else, but you got to get both teams. Would you be more willing to bet that both teams will come out of those 7, or that neither team would come out of those 7?
I think one team will come out of those 7.
I agree with you. And I think I'll tell you who I think it's going to be on the NFC side is going to be the Packers.
See, and I don't have any faith. My faith is more in Kansas City getting back there.
Oh yeah, I think Kansas City's going to win it again. They're paying Patrick Mahomes $500 million. I think they're going to win. It's part of the deal, isn't it? Doesn't the NFL
Yeah, he's got to win every Super Bowl.
And somehow Baker Mayfield's got to make some playoff noise, because he's on every commercial for every product. Hulu, insurance, he does it all.
Chris Cox says you'd think you'd have written instructions to follow every morning to make sure your settings are ready to go.
You know, you're right, Chris. You would think that. But that's really a producer's job, and it's a union deal, man. We don't mess with that.
Yeah. Oh, man.
You know, we have so many great listeners. Like, I would kind of like for Judge Posey someday to give us something he wants us to talk about.
Jeremy Levis says, go Hawks. Can't do the Seahawks. Sorry.
Of course, Judge Posey might just say, could y'all just have 30 minutes of silence? He might. That might be the most enlightened we are.
A moment of silence?
That lasts a half hour?
Yeah.
What if we just came in here one day and just got everything set up, get the video going, and I go, excuse me a minute, and I just went out, and about a minute later, you just put your headphones down and went out. What if we just left for about 20 minutes? I wonder if people go, you think they're coming back? You think they're going to come back?
Jeff Fonseca says Seattle's damn good. Here's why I don't think it'll be Seattle. Their defense was marginally better than the Cowboys' defense on Sunday.
There you go. I have to agree with Christopher Conrad. Packers-Chiefs Super Bowl, the State Farm Bowl. Jake will do the coin toss. Yeah, they'll both do the discount double check.
That's awesome.
Graydon says, good morning. Kid only talks when you're not around. You ever notice that?
Yeah, I noticed that. He's silent when I'm around.
Was that Tyler?
That was.
Where's Tyler?
Working.
Is he taking somebody out fishing today?
He's got fishing trips for
with a full
the rest of the week.
With a full, he's drinking beer down at the bay. What do you think? Anybody catching no fish this morning? Fish been eating all night. They're sleeping.
It was like sunshine this morning. That moon was so bright.
Yeah,
Brian Anderson checking in.
Catching any fish. Good morning, Zip.
Brother Gary's going to join us a little bit later. So the Astros win. They take 2 from the Twins. Good pitching, timely hitting. It's not like they blew the Twins out. What, 3-1, 2-1? Twins got good pitching. They just couldn't get the hitting.
Playoff baseball. Barrios last night pitched really well yesterday afternoon. Won a 12:08 start time.
But I was wrong on that one. I thought the Twins were going to win it.
I think I told you the Twins would win. You didn't have to go back and review the tape. I told you the Astros would beat the Twins.
Yeah, no, you did.
But
you're right on that one. But and in retrospect, here's why. The Astros, I think their postseason experience came through because they didn't look panicked when they won it late in game 1. And then they pulled it out yesterday with some timely hitting. Carlos Correa finally earned some of his money.
Right. Judge Posey says, I'll give it some serious thought, Brent, but don't expect it to be politics. No, we could talk human interest. Jeff Fonseca says 7 to 7:15, tune into Wade and Carter. You think we could keep all the same sponsors? Might not be a bad gig.
A 15-minute show?
Yeah, we could just do sponsors and then leave.
That's what it would turn into.
And play that one public service deal where the King of Brown Town says, get out and vote. I'll tell you this. The Astros yesterday, Carlos Correa, Astros are tied 1-1. Justin Tucker had an RBI early in the game, probably scored Bregman, I'm just guessing. And Correa comes up to the plate, and they had just talked about, I mean, literally just the pitch before finished the bit about, don't know which way the wind's blowing, but this is the second game. We haven't had a home run from either team yet. And there's a drive by Correa deep in the right center, and it's gone. 430 feet. Correa just hit a bomb. And for a moment, there was that flash of playoff exuberance that if the Astros can capture that in a bottle, they can dominate. They can just go nuts on people. He came out and did that little high five, low five thing. It's got to be a low five with Altuve, but he got down low and gave Altuve some love. It was kind of like Fantasy Island. Tattoo, gave him a little love. And then he goes in and he does this thing where him and Bregman act like they're fighting, and they were genuinely excited. 2-1 at that point. Later on, Tucker came up and had another RBI, and they said Correa was the player of the game. He gunned a guy at home plate from short that allowed the Astros to preserve their lead. So 3-1, Astros move on. I think after winning 2-1 the day before.
No, I think it was 3-1 the first day, 2-1 yesterday.
Was it?
Yeah.
No, it was 3-1 yesterday.
Whatever. They win.
Whatever.
They won in
They
2.
won.
They'll face the winner of the A's and White Sox.
And we want the White Sox to win that series because the A's are a better team. The A's are arguably a better team than the Astros right now. So it'd be great if Chicago could put them out of their misery. Astros pitchers, 18 innings, gave up only 7 hits and like 1 earned run. It was very, very good baseball.
Here's an interesting aside that would kind of bring that storyline together because they went in, the 2005 World Series, right, when the Astros were still in the National League. The Twins have now lost 18 straight playoff games dating back to before.
Yeah.
The Astros have been in 3 World Series in the time it's been since the Twins have last won a playoff game.
Patrick Strauss is 4-1 on Tuesday. So Correa finally did something good this season. That's true. And by the way, that means he finally did something good in the last 2 seasons because he didn't do a whole lot the year before. They said if we check the Astros for earpieces, very interesting. What they hear in their earpieces is Joe Biden going, "Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on. Shut up.
Let's take our break and talk about some of that conspiracy theory.
Alan's Wrecker Service, 578-6300, the only number you need if you need a tow. Period.
Only one I call. Simple. They've towed my cars. They came and gave me a jump start when I've needed it. They can handle pretty much anything on the side of the road.
If Ash finds a way to break the code on his wallet, how about a new vehicle from Atzenhofer dealerships? Chevy, Cadillac, Mazda, Mitsubishi. If you're getting towed all the time, if you're going to be jumped all the time, if you know the driver at Alan's Wrecker Service by name, go to Atzenhofer.com today. Search out a new vehicle. Alan's doing fine. He's busy pulling big rigs out of the ditches. Get you a new Chevy pickup. Get you a new Cadillac Escalade. They had dogs you could put in an Escalade.
They had
a
used Chevy Dually on the lot yesterday. It looked pretty nice.
I bet Atzenhofer could take out those side windows in the back of that Cadillac and put in that louvered aluminum, and you could just drive around and pick up animals all day long. Driving around the back of your brand new Escalade.
It's leather.
It's not pleather. It's real leather. There you go. Since 1926, folks, Atzenhofer has been Victoria's dealership. Chestnut Furniture Company, 100 years in downtown Victoria. Whether you need
70 where they are now?
Yeah. Whether you need a recliner or a washer-dryer combo, which I think find you a stacking washer and dryer.
50% off all furniture as they celebrate 100 years in business.
Great people, too. Bobby Leon and his family. Just go down there and let him tell you the stories of the building.
And the people that have worked there. They're amazing stories.
Can you move that arrow? Because I feel like there's like somebody's got a laser on my forehead, like I'm going to be shot. How about that?
Better?
Yes, right over my heart. Thank you. Razor IT Solutions, JP Hull and his team. It can now be announced as part of the public record. One thing, JP was hired to help the county disseminate like COVID information, get stuff out, get it on a quality website, get it in a format where people can get what they want from the county as far as information goes. I asked JP sincerely, I said, do you think that did Wade and Carter help with that? Because I mean, I like to hear success stories and I like to be patronized. And JP said, absolutely. He said, Wade and Carter is the only place that I advertise. So the county heard about us on Wade and Carter. So reach out to Razor IT Solutions for all your computer and competency needs, analytics, encryption, and all that. And reach out to Wade and Carter if you really want your business on the map. Let's just stop our breaks there.
CW Bean says President Trump called it before the debate of Biden wearing a wire. Biden kept tucking a wire under his right side of his suit jacket. You know, I saw a video yesterday.
Do we believe that? I mean, why wouldn't you just put like a little stitch in there and hold that? I mean, you've got endless resources and contacts with video screens. Why wouldn't somebody just put like a little stitch in there and hold that?
Maybe it wasn't Biden. Maybe it was a droid.
What if it wasn't Biden? How do you make a robot stutter? I don't know. I don't know. They played that card yesterday, too, on Twitter extensively. People don't know that Joe Biden has a stuttering problem that he covers very well. Fear and feelings, baby. Fear and feelings, 2020, Joe Biden.
It seemed to be his stuttering came out more when he was telling discernible lies.
Right.
Because, boy, was he stuttering when he was getting hammered on Hunter Biden.
My son Bo's the one I want to talk about. And he acts like Bo died in the line of duty in the military. Bo, bless his heart. Bo, who probably was a good guy. Bo got cancer and died after the military. Bo could have gotten hit by a bus. You don't have to keep talking about Bo being a veteran.
I saw a thread on social media questioning what was the conspicuous service medal. So I think that's what Joe said.
Christopher Conrad says a droid wouldn't need a wire.
You know, they were trying to say that was the creases in his shirt and the shadows.
No, it was a wire. There was something there.
Yeah. I mean, the way his shirts are, those shirts are starched.
Yeah, no, there was definitely, you see it kind of pop out.
And not only that, it was curved a little bit.
Maybe it was just a cheap suit.
Maybe, or a cheap shirt. But the other one that was somewhat interesting, which I'm not sure how, was the one in the sleeve, because he holds his sleeve up, it's like a little gecko head went back down the sleeve.
What was that?
That one I don't know.
It could have been, and this doesn't bother me either. By the way, if Joe Biden needs, well, if that's a great point, Jeff Fonseca says the VCS companies could have rigged Joe better, no doubt.
Well, if the Astros are banging cans and we give a pass, do we have to give Joe Biden a pass because he's cheating in the debate?
Back in the day, when Joe first ran for president, he would have needed like a bag wire. He could have told people it was a colostomy or something, but it would have been a wire. But now he could have like the iPhone 11 wire. Be easy. He could take pictures with his eyes.
Maybe that's what it was, a camera.
Keep. No, I don't know what the deal was. I
think it was just a little shocker to keep him from actually making eye contact with President Trump.
Somebody
if he would have looked at the president, he would either turned to stone or melted into a puddle.
A column of ice or salt. I don't have a problem if Joe Biden, they were making fun of him, and I think it was unfair. I mean this, look, I think he's on Adderall. But you know what? If you need something to help you concentrate, I can't slam the guy for wanting to concentrate, especially it's legal, prescribed by a doctor. I mean, there's no rule that says our presidents have to be Adonis. They don't have to be perfect.
And they're not.
No, I do find it interesting that with Trump's personality, as type A as he is, I can see him being highly addictive. Nobody disputes when he goes, I've never drank, I've never done drugs. He just doesn't. He's not a fitness junkie. I think he's a closet Big Mac guy. I do. I think he just goes in there and goes, special sauce. I really do.
No, they just
ice. Baby.
They take him at his word for that, but then whatever.
Yeah.
But debate changes are coming. I thought this was interesting, so let me pull this.
James Carter did say, why would you need a wire when they have Bluetooth hearing aids to connect to your iPhone? Yeah. Legit point.
The debate commission will say it'll add some order to the remaining.
Put a shot collar on each candidate.
Well, here's what they could have easily done. And as limited as we are technology-wise here, we do it. When we have a guest on the other microphone, we will mute their microphone, because the worst thing you can have in a radio is people talking over each other. And that was
I don't even know what you said. Why would you say that? I don't know.
But the worst thing that was the biggest complaint about the debate, was the constant interruptions. Well, you know what? There. Problem is solved. Turn off the microphone.
See, I can't even hear that. I'll tell you what we've learned to do.
I just turned off my microphone. You turn off the microphone of the person who you didn't ask the question to, and then they can't interrupt. But it's almost like the folks running the debate wanted the microphones live because they knew the president and his personality, and they wanted to continue to make him look like a jackass.
Well, see, that could be the political statement they wanted to make. Now, Ash and I, over the years, literally, because, and Dawn accuses me of this, and I'll own it. It's my mistake. Most of the time, if someone's talking to me, I usually know where they're trying to go. I'm not. This is not a positive thing about me. It's just the truth. I'm smarter than most of you. I am. And the truth is that when you're talking to me, a lot of times I know where you're going, so I start answering your question. That's called rude. And I've worked hard on it because Dawn has helped me by kicking me and stabbing me with small pointed objects. With Ash, I had to learn. Ash would say something and I would get excited, and I would want to tell people what I was thinking about what Ash said. And we've just yearned. We've learned a yin and yang. And I've learned to let him finish what he's saying before I tell you what I'm thinking about it. And if I forget what I was going to say, it probably wasn't show worthy. That's the truth. So he lets me ramble and I let him ramble. And as in general, we don't talk. Now we'll argue, but we don't talk over each other.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Because see, I just stop because I know that what he's got to say is going to be interesting. He'll tell you that it is. A little inside dirt on Wade and Carter. This is not really that easy to do. He's just really good at it.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're supposed to say something nice about me now.
And you're good at it too.
Well, it sounds so disingenuous.
Not at all.
Folks, it doesn't sound real.
Okay. Yeah, and Torrent Bales does bring up the issue. The problem with controlling the microphones is it stops the interaction between the candidates.
True, but there was so much. We needed a cage match. You think Biden would have tapped out? I think Trump would have got him in the suplex, done a little pile driver on him, bam.
It kind of had. Remember Celebrity Deathmatch, the old claymation series that was on MTV back in the 90s? It kind of reminded me a little bit of that.
I can't wait for the next South Park that deals with it. I don't even watch South Park.
But
good morning, Pat Irby.
It was almost like a guilty pleasure watching that debate. It wasn't great, but boy, it was fun to watch.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, there was really no substance came out of that debate from either candidate. It was pretty much what you expected. I'm pretty sure nobody's minds changed, even though polls do suggest that they thought Biden was the better of the two candidates on the debate stage, according to some of the polls. 73 million people watched it, which was down about 11 million from 2016's first debate between Trump and Hillary Clinton. But I don't recall the type of reaction on social media from folks after that debate. So I think I'm pretty safe to say that there might have been 11 million fewer viewers on TV.
Right.
Or at least the way they can measure it. I wouldn't be surprised if it was 11 million or more that were watching it on a streaming device somewhere that they don't have a way to gauge the ratings.
I believe that. In fact, it would be amazing in this day and age if television was the number one way that people were watching it. I mean, there's so many other ways to watch things now. I find it interesting. Randy Gutenberg, and there he is checking in right there. I thought it was interesting that Randy said, if we're going to deal in like, let's deal in stereotypes. We're going to characterize people. We keep wanting Trump to be something that he's not. If he were a politician, he might be kinder and gentler.
If he were a politician, he never would have been elected.
That's exactly right. So kind of like you want him on that wall. You need him on that wall, right? Donald Trump is in practice, verbally, he's a New York street fighter. Randy Gutenberger said, yes, you may want him to be more like Ronald Reagan, but he's not an actor. Who did Ronald Reagan debate? Jimmy Carter, I guess, and probably Walter Mondale.
Yeah, maybe.
These were nice men. This was a time when people reached across the aisle, when there was partisan congruity and continuity, and these people worked together to get things done. It doesn't matter now.
Did they? I don't know.
They did. I mean, and now if Trump comes up with a literal cure for cancer and it's free, the Democrats are going to go, we're going to impeach him because he knew about it 20 days before he told us. Doesn't matter what good the man does. Moves an embassy to Jerusalem while Joe cavorts around with anti-Semites. Trump's a jerk. Gets us our NATO partners, much to their own chagrin, to the anger of Germany. They start paying their fair share for European security. The Democrats, he's making our allies irate. The NAFTA, the situation was terrible for the U.S. He goes in, sticks to his guns, and negotiates a better trade deal for the U.S. It may not be better for Canada. It may not be better for Mexico, but it's better for the U.S. He's being a selfish white privilege ogre. He goes in and says, hey, this Paris Clean Air Accord, it's a joke against us. People say he doesn't care about the environment. There is no chance for this man. It doesn't. And everything I just told you he did, all of it was what he said he was going to do. I'm going to put America first, and we're going to get our economy back.
Well, and the media has completely ignored the fact that declassified information has now come out that Hillary planned the entire Russia collusion to take the heat off of her.
Yeah.
It was a made-up hoax of an issue that didn't exist to smokescreen, dog whistle, as Joe Biden's term the other night was, the DNC server emails getting hacked by the Russians and her server issues. That's what it was. And James Comey testifying yesterday, I don't know if anybody had a chance to watch any of it. Here's a guy that remembered every single bit of his conversations with the president, except for the one when he was in the Oval Office with Joe Biden discussing this whole Russia investigation.
Right. He remembers what he had for lunch on Thursday, July the 18th of 2014, but he can't tell you about a conversation he had in the Oval Office with the President of the United States. I don't recall that conversation. Matt Oker says, I wish we could get that type of outrage about taxes when we talk about abatements locally.
I'd like to take that one step further. Why isn't the whole country outraged that they're only paying $750 in taxes or whatever that percentage would be compared to your income? That's where the anger should be, right. Not the fact that Trump's smart enough to use all the tax laws to his advantage and the tax codes. Why doesn't everybody get to pay whatever meager percentage that is, if anything? That's where the anger should be. It's misdirected at Trump.
2 quick points. One of them is Torn Bell says the 25,000 people at Trump's rally yesterday liked the way he debated. I did see Joe Biden do his whistle stop in about 6 cities, most of which I did not know in the Midwest. And I can tell you that I watched it live, and the people that were there were the people that got off the train with Joe Biden. And that's a true story. There was no throng of supporters, nobody going, way to go, Joe. Nobody. There was nobody. That's a true statement. Matt Oker, here's what I'll tell you about abatements. I have read evidence, quality, verifiable evidence that net to a community, tax abatements don't work. I give you the perfect example. We put Caterpillar out here. in theory, we gave them 10 years of no taxes, blah, blah, blah. And in theory, we start to reap that benefit after the 10 years because they're here, and now we start getting taxes off them, and then they have to keep certain people employed in order to keep their abatement and yada, yada, yada. There is evidence, credible evidence, that those things don't work, that given the time value of money and given the fact that after 10 years that factory could be obsolete and they could just leave, that they could, in theory, just hop around from place to place making a living off abatements. The reality is, if you don't have the abatements, you're not in the game. That's the problem. The companies come to cities like Victoria and say, what's in it for us? It helped that the VEDC could say, well, we've got a park that's ready for y'all to build right now. And there's a rail right there. That helped. Okay, good. I can get that in Yoakum with nicer people and less politics. What else you got for me? Hey, how about 10 years with no taxes? Yoakum's offering 8. We'll give you 10. Okay, good. If you don't have the abatement, you're not in the game, even though the abatement may actually not net you anything in the long run. Very, very scary. Yeah, Randy Gutenberg says Joe Biden has selective memory. Tell you what, if you need your memory popped, get your memory back at Uncle Mutt's barbecue. Go by today. Do you remember what it was like the last time you had a perfectly cooked pork rib? No, perfect. You say, I want lean in brisket. You ever go somewhere and order brisket? Doesn't matter. You order lean, it comes out fat.
I never order lean brisket.
I know. That's why you're so fit. Cholesterol 420. You're the winner. But lean in brisket, turkey, sausage, chicken, they've got it all. And it's all top shelf. It's not like, well, that's a good place to go for brisket, but I wouldn't get their chicken. No, you can get it all at Uncle Mutt's, and it's great. You want to cater? Tell you what, folks, you cater chicken leg quarters, it's very reasonable. You can feed a large group of people very reasonably. Call Jonathan Arterberry today. Get by Uncle Mutt's Barbecue. USA Concrete Coatings. Charlie Garcia and his crew are killing it. That's the easy feedback. When you start seeing how busy they are, that's because their product is quality. Polyurethane coating, it's antimicrobial, antibacterial.
It is.
And it spruces up whatever room, patio, porch, poolside you use it on.
Won't crack, won't peel.
There you have it. It's like a plastic orange. Get a hold of USA 578 Home. That's the number you need. And today only, ask for the Wade and Carter special on your next event. Call Gray Barn Design at 920-6803. 920-6803. Talk to Cheryl. Tell her I want the Wade and Carter deal. I need a consult on my next party.
You'll get a free consult.
That's it. You literally just gave away a free consult?
Yep.
She's going to kill you.
Gave it away.
920-6803. Randy Gutenberg says barbecue is a great reason I live in Texas. Amen. Amen.
So the debate commission says they're going to change up some of the things to make it a better debate. And I looked through 2 stories and couldn't find one recommendation that they're going to make yet.
I like the idea, although I don't think it would affect Trump. If you turned off the mic, he'd still be going, "You're stupid, Joe. Don't say smart and me in the same sentence."
You think?
I mean, I wish Trump would go, "You look good in a cheap suit, Joe. Can we just pat him down for a wire?" Maybe you could have the Secret Service do it. Come in there.
Well, he's got his own Secret Service protection, doesn't he? His detail as a former vice president.
Yeah, but Trump's Secret Service could take Biden's Secret Service.
Maybe they just pat each other. The Secret Services flip and pat each other down, right?
Brought to you by Pornhub.
Trump's
Wouldn't
pat
it be
down
great,
Joe
Joe, if they opened up the coat and maybe Biden should walk out and go, "Hey, folks, can we put the rumors to rest? I don't need a wire."
I'm not sure I want to see this, but Biden should walk out next time if he really wanted to put the rumors to rest in a tank top and boxers.
Yeah, boxers and a wife beater, and then have on like those socks with the little elastic thing above your knee.
The garter?
Yeah. Is that what those are for men? I don't know what they call that thing.
It's a garter.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah. So now you guys are going off. Y'all stop. Y'all are talking about barbecue. And I'm going to tell you, I've talked to Jonathan Arterberry about this, and Jonathan's the first guy to say, he tries to bring. He's culinary school trained. This is not just a guy that said, "Hey man, I think I can do a brisket." Jonathan's been to culinary school. He went 2 days. It was a 4-year program, but Jonathan Arkwright is the only guy that got put in ISS at culinary school. No, but he has told me that the difference between cooking like a competition brisket and cooking a brisket for a restaurant is myriad. There's lots of differences in the way you do it and the time it takes and the expense of doing it. And you can ask our friends that cook Tim Brûlée, these guys that cook on these cooking competitions. A brisket you might eat at a cooking competition might be $100 brisket. You can't afford it at Uncle Mutt's. But his food is incredible. Are you enjoying are you just listening to the radio?
No. I'm getting there somewhere.
He's trying to do something, folks.
Yeah. I'm listening to
you. But he's not talking over me. That's what matters to me. Let's see. I got a message here. I'll even say it's from Dylan. Oh, wow. Torn Bales sends me this. The great Mac Davis, folks. Come to get better looking each day. That's good stuff. Yep. Not in any way pertinent to anything we were talking about, but it just hit your fancy at that moment. There
it's kind of how the show rolls.
There you go. Chris Conrad says, you say Speedos and tank tops. That reminds me, folks, we have a reelect that MF cap signed by Ted Nugent. Right now, Chris Jansen is the leader at $500. We're raising money for Warriors Weekend. The key thing is we'd love to raise $2,500 for Warriors Weekend. So just so you know, if somebody comes in right now and says, "I'll give you $2,500 for Warriors Weekend," we'll give you the cap. We'll call this auction off. Done. But as it stands, we're going to give the cap to the high bidder, which right now is Chris Jansen, who, by the way, is extremely generous, has participated in several of our fundraisers. We've raised money for Christ's Kitchen. Trish was so touched by y'all's outpouring. I mean that. It was so cool to be the group that got to give her the money. She totally had no idea that we were going to give her, what was it, over $1,000.
We raised money for the pink fire truck,
which those folks are just fantastic out promoting breast cancer awareness and really promoting the survivors, and they let people sign. They let people sign on behalf of loved ones they've lost.
And providing resources for those who are traveling.
Yes.
Gas cards, expenses, hotel stays for loved ones when they can't be at the hospital, when people are getting treatment. There's a lot that goes into it that they try to help ease that burden as much as possible. So.
And Ash and I, we love to cut up with y'all and have a good time, but we try to find ways to give back that way. Well, I think we did one more. I don't remember what it was.
And I just posted the hat on the Wade and Carter Facebook page.
Yeah,
so you can take a look at it.
It's just delightfully tacky. And honestly,
and it's autographed by Ted Nugent. If you're a fan of the Nuge,
your kids will go, did they really use that word on a cap? And who is Ted Nugent? And it'll be a great piece of nostalgic history.
Yes.
It really will be. 2,500 is our goal. 500 is the bid. $100 increments, please. Get us to 600 today, 700, 800. Somebody's going to pay nicely for it, and we'll call your name out if you bid. So 500. What am I bid? What am I bid?
I cleaned it up enough. I could show that.
Right there. You can show. Where's Fred Flintstone?
There's for the YouTubers. There's for. Make sure that's still there.
Why is it when you say for the YouTubers, I think about a bunch of people sitting around the river with a cold beer? I don't know. Inner tubers, I guess.
Maybe so. And I always think potatoes, tubers.
See, I mean, you're such a Canadian.
Torn Bales, $1,000. Thank you, Torn.
That, TB? Way to go. Way to jump right in there. Torn Bales, too.
Well, it's all that potato vodka I grew up on in the Soviet Union.
When you were a kid. TB, thanks.
Jeff Fonseca says Christ Kitchen is a special place. I would encourage all listeners to spend time
Wow.
there as a volunteer.
How about that? Okay, T-Lat comes in. She has some executive privilege, as does Cheryl. T-Lat says, we will throw in a new Wade and Carter Yeti type, insulated cup, like that rocket cup that Ash has. We'll throw in
Something like this.
a Wade and Carter cup with the cap. So TB, without even knowing about that bonus, is the leader now at $1,000.
Now that he knows that bonus, he just dropped his bid to $750.
Right. He's like, oh, gee, I got to take the cap. I got to take the cup.
I'll give you $1,200 to keep the cup.
Right. We watched a deal yesterday, Ash and I. We were talking about baseball. Okay, so look, we want the White Sox to beat the A's because the White Sox aren't as good as the A's. I know that sounds weird, but if they beat them, 3-game series, anything can happen. Dallas Keuchel yesterday gave up 3 earned runs in like 3 1/3 innings, 6 hits. And I'm so glad that he's not wearing number 15 for the Houston Astros anymore. And we're not trying to make him a starter because he's a chump. Why? I just decided. It's baseball. It's okay to hate people, right?
I never got my hate on for Dallas Keuchel.
You can steal. You can hit people. You can hate.
Didn't Fires go to the A's?
Probably. Isn't Fires the guy that fronted us all out?
Yeah.
There you have it.
That'd be another reason I want the A's. Let's beat them in the postseason with no cheating in Dodger Stadium.
Right? Nice. Like we never lost in Dodger Stadium, dude. That's kind of like our home field.
Kind of.
T-Lat, great call on the Wade and Carter Cup to go with the Ted Nugent MFer cap. Brother Gary,
did I see the brother man walk
he
in?
just stuck his head back in. What did he say? What is he? Can you see, Brother Gary, young man, get to the office.
With your wife, though. You don't do
Right.
that with her.
He's here.
Braves up 1-0 according to Ryan Hopping. Who cares? It's the Braves.
Yeah, we don't care.
Matt Oger says baseball is still a thing.
Well, it is kind of. We're in the lulls of hockey.
Well, hockey's over. Waiting for free agency to begin on October 9th. That'll be the next.
But somebody actually won the Cup. The deal with Dallas wasn't a playoff.
That was the Stanley Cup.
Who won it?
Tampa Bay.
I didn't know that. You must not have made the Advocate. We're okay. So just so y'all know, on a scale of 1 to 10, we're like at least a 6 now with the Advocate. We were kind of down there a little lower, but on a scale of 1 to 10, we're at least a 6. We like the Advocate. We seek a hope in the Advocate. I did find it interesting that on Saturday morning's paper, they had one wrong. Said Edna had gotten defeated 8-7. Edna actually came back and won that game 15-8. Now, what's funny about that is we all know what happened. They got up against press time. These things happen. They ran with what they thought was going to happen. Edna comes back and scores late in the game. People from Edna went nuts. I'm surprised. If this would have happened up north, there would have been rioting, looting, fires, cop cars overturned. Edna was slighted in the Victoria Advocate. 18 people read it. Unbelievable. But
because Edna thought that people in Yoakum would care.
Right. 15-8. You heard it here, Wade Carter. Edna rallies and wins late.
Dewey wins
last Friday. Yeah,
only you and the brother man get that reference.
Dewey defeats Trump. Remember that? And can you iconic picture though. Dewey defeats Truman. Can you see him? He was wearing like a light gray suit. He had a hat on.
Yeah.
I grew up. That picture. These are pictures from Life magazine, folks. When I was growing up, I remember the picture of the soldier coming home from World War II. The nurse has her leg kicked up, and he's kissing her, and it was in Times Square, and they didn't even know each other. That was big news.
World War II.
It was a big deal that this couple. Yeah, it just showed the youth and the enthusiasm, the excitement of being an American. That this couple that didn't even know each other kissed.
Yeah, it wasn't at Times Square. I think it was actually down in the Pier District.
Was it?
Yeah.
Way to blow my story. Nobody else even knows the story. What else? Some other pictures. Well, you've seen there were Life magazine was the first to run pictures of the Zapruder film.
You got those Life magazines, you'd be rich right now.
Oh, yeah.
Life was one of the first to run pictures of the atrocities in Vietnam.
Yes, the realities of Vietnam. So Life magazine was known for their photography and great journalism. And then along came Sports Illustrated. Highly, we all got our Sports Illustrateds and cut out. They would give you like
They'd give you a full page picture of Herschel Walker, Bo Jackson,
Dr. J.
I had a whole wall of those pictures in my bedroom of every sports hero I liked back then.
Matt Oger says those kissers started COVID, went around the world, came back here. How about, what do you think? I haven't asked you this yet. What do you think about Trump just doing everything but calling COVID a biological weapon? China started it. China knew it. China did nothing to stop it.
True.
I shut down travel from China, and the Democrats lambasted me. You remember that?
Yep. CNN actually fact-checked yesterday, post-debate, that Joe Biden did not call Trump xenophobic. And he's got a tweet out there from early to mid-March where he tells him to stop being a xenophobic fearmonger.
Right.
Over that. So, yeah. I mean, there you go. If you don't think that the media
100%.
is the PR arm of the Democrat Party, you're an idiot.
So if you're Trump and you want to play this out and you get reelected, how do you have any type of retribution, political capital? What do you do if you're so pro-America? What do you do to straighten China out? Do you put another huge tariff on their goods and say, take that, China?
Are the tariffs working? I don't know.
Good question. I don't know. I know that there were a lot of folks. I've got a buddy that was in the gas grill business, like at the Brinkman level, national sales guy, said that, man, it killed us. I mean, it took our product that we could sell for $299 and made it a $500 grill. He goes, and it ain't a $500 grill. You're still buying a $299 grill for $500.
Yeah, that's the problem with the tariffs.
Yeah, and yet.
They could make it a $500 grill if they brought it back to the U.S. and built it here.
And it would be. It'd probably last longer. Probably. So let's wrap up our breaks. Here's a little Rush Limbaugh for you.
I did want to point this one out there because this is interesting. Claire Bronfman, billionairess from the Seagrams family,
right?
Fortune, sentenced to 6 years and 9 months for her involvement in the NXIVM organization, which was involved in sex trafficking and may have been loose ties to who's the idiot that hung himself?
Epstein?
Yeah.
He didn't hang himself. Randy Goomer says, y'all should put giant sponsor stickers at the bottom of your big gulp. Look, Randy, we are serious investigative journalists. We're not going to whore ourselves out. We're not going to NASCAR and whore ourselves out over $1. What do you think we could get for that? Let me turn the mic off. What do you think we could get for that? Put like a VCS.
I just noticed I do have an Arctic sticker. They're not paying me for that. That's coming off there.
See if we can make a.
I don't want to take it off now because I'll spill the rest of my coffee.
Hats off to Randy Gutenberg. He'll be getting a prize in the mail. We talked about everybody.
Randy, I think I still got a copy of your book. I'll send that back to you.
White Trash.
That's the only prize we have.
We'll sign your book. White Trash Services, 550-1826, 6 County region, contiguous to Victoria, plus Holiday Beach and Rockport, Lake McQueeney. Pretty much it.
And everywhere in between.
There you go. White Trash Services. You need a roll-off dumpster. You need trash service in the counties. They are your go-to. Compadres Design Inc. They do all of our swag. They're going to help us find a way to monetize the bottoms of our coolers. They can help you advertise, whether it's a koozie, a golf towel. Right now, people would love to have a hoodie.
Wow, we're in the midst
of winter. A hoodie with your company logo on it. They can even embroider that. Don't forget Wind Services. Whether you need a generator, solar panels, a battery backup for your solar panel. If you want to build something out in the country or off the grid, Went is the group for you to help.
Come a long way from the days when Carl would just get a call and go change somebody's light bulb.
Absolutely. Those were usually Aggies. He had to go change their light bulbs. But look at this. You can go propane generator. They've got the certified plumber to make the connection. They can have you up and running to where if a storm comes or when a storm comes, someday the storm's going to come, your lights are going to go off.
Don't forget, we're still in the midst of hurricane season as well.
Absolutely. The cold winter with a pandemic, with hurricane season and flu season's right around the corner. It's all good. Good morning, Sheriff Louderback. I got to tell you something. At an undisclosed location, Sheriff Louderback is doing advanced small arms weaponry training.
Really?
Now, you've seen the man shoot a pistol. You remember what that was like. So what we're going to do, man, we're going to hold this gun low ready, and then when the whistle blows, we're going to raise our weapon and fire 3 shots. He goes, it'll go something like this. And we looked up there, and it was like a smiley face on the guy's head. And I'm like, how did you do that? Not my first time. Now, please, everybody, keep your weapons safe. He was awesome.
It was good.
Yeah. Would have been like if Chuck Norris had been there, would have kicked a hole in that target. Just like that. Clayton Hill, new quarter starts today. So
Yep.
Clayton Hill wants BJ Nelson. We want a cut of that. Clayton Hill's got a new job going for SCT Building Systems and 550-1826. BJ Nelson says it's not too late to sign up.
Start new trash collection service. Quarter starts today.
Now, would it be a good bit if we just left Brother Gary's mic muted and all people heard was our response to Brother Gary? We can't do that.
Can't do that. It might be interesting. No, we would never do that to the brother, but we got to do this for the brother.
He got
Yes, sir.
the fanfare.
Yes, sir.
Oh, helps me do this. I don't know what that is. Oops, I keep hitting the wrong button. There we go.
Oh, spanning the globe to bring you the best in what's happening now.
Ooh, that was almost Jaws-ish.
Ooh.
There we go.
Brother Gary Moses, everybody's brother. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing great, guys. Good to see you and hear you. I like seeing you during the week, and nice weather out there. So Astros, they're in.
Yes.
They're going to the next round.
Correa,
They've been in, brother. They've been in.
Correa, big home run.
Well, they were in, but they get to go further.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance in a week, and I didn't take it last week, to tell you that alongside the Hall of Famer, Ralph Salazar, you guys put on a very entertaining program. Like, I don't say you missed your calling because you've been doing radio for years. I remember you in the press box for decades.
And you did radio for years. You're right.
Folks, unbelievable. When we're done, if you have a moment, hang around the first 20 minutes of the Hall of Famer show, the Hall of Fame hour. I don't even know how maybe they go a couple of hours. Ralph's here all the time.
Yeah,
Seems
he's
like
there all the time.
in presence. It's like a spirit.
Ralph leaves here at like 5:30 in the morning before we get here, and then he goes home, freshens up, comes back.
Sometimes
He's got you all fooled.
Ralph is here so much that sometimes I have to go home and get the egg in case I get the oho. You know, I've got to get the egg out.
We had fun with Ron coaching yesterday. After y'all left, did you hear? We played Treat Her Right by Roy Head, who had passed away. And Ronnie and Colonel loved that song.
Oh, yeah.
And
They play all kinds of oldies. They play some Tejano stuff too, but a lot of it's older stuff you'll recognize too. So stay tuned and listen.
You
to
might
the Brother
recognize
Man
that.
and the Hall of Fame. No, you wouldn't. They don't. Well, you know, there's no great Canadian radio channel, so,
Well,
except Pete Montana.
we always compliment you all, boys. You know,
We appreciate that. It's in our contract.
It's in our
Yes, sir.
contract. I do want to mention boys couple quickly.
Both our
East plays
contracts.
tonight. East plays tonight. They're playing in Corpus against Carroll. St. Joe's game got taken off the boards, canceled at Bloomington.
COVID?
Yes, I think there was something to do with that. That's tomorrow night. It's been canceled.
Does West effectively forfeit those games?
Well, they're going to make up the game with Flower Bluff December the 5th, 4th, December the 4th. So they're going to make the ones that are non-district.
Of 2023.
Yeah. Texas high school playoffs should be sometime next July.
Yeah, the non-district they don't make up.
Okay.
District they're going to make up. Okay, so that's where we are. I want to get that in Blue Bonnet, and I got one for you. You said you couldn't remember fundraisers. Remember you did one for the Crossroads Guardians of Hope. You remember that one?
Yes, sir.
Add that one to the list. And Blue Bonnet, we're still out there pushing that right now. Again, you've got time to buy those raffle tickets October the 10th. I do want to, the one guy said, put it on your show. Placido Volunteer Fire Department, Saturday, spaghetti dinner with some garlic bread. And that's at Placido Volunteer Fire Department on William Street there, 11 to 2, plates to go only. You want to get that one in?
Perfect.
There. And Top Chef, you have to have had your tickets, but you could call. Maybe they still got something left. I don't know. But their Top Chef drive-through is Friday night at the Emmaus Center over there by Our Lady of Victory.
Perfect.
Okay.
Tell us now, you kind of given us the daily bag of what's going on around
Yeah.
town. Ash, we got a little something now. This is when he comes in strong.
Okay, you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, we go surfing. first, we're going to go surf because you
Okay.
love Cabo. And you
Sure.
like
Yeah.
water.
I wouldn't surf that. I would
All
drown.
right. As you were trying to
Can you surf in Cabo?
No, without spilling your drink.
You were trying to get to Puerto Vallarta where there's water. We got water stored here. Okay.
There's a little surfing down there
Yeah.
at a place called what's
Moondogs.
yeah.
Dog surf. Was it indoor surfing or what?
What's the
Ride the
what's
tequila
these are
wave.
Playa del Muertos or something?
Right.
Yeah. Who's gonna go
Well, I was there
surfing there?
Puerto Vallarta. It was good. All right.
Beach of the Dead.
Here's a good one. Boys. You ready? And you, water man.
I'm ready.
You're water man.
I'm Aquaman.
I'm going right. Largest wave ever surfed. We have a new record.
Aquavelva, man.
Yeah.
That was a dumb
Oh, that was
guy.
big. Did we use that stuff
Oh, yeah.
back in the day? Aquavelva
And high karate.
and high karate. Still got it.
And brute.
Something in the back of the room somewhere.
Brute.
Largest wave ever surfed. New record. We're going in feet now. It's not a man. A woman replaced the man. Her name was Maya. How many feet?
Her name
You get
was
in that wave,
Maya.
And you're in that curl, you know. Remember, we talked that noise
Sure.
back in the day. You're in that curl under a big wave. How many feet do you think that wave was?
45. That's my guess.
I think it's going to be higher, but I have no idea how high it would be.
Okay. 45 is in there. You would think that sounds pretty good. It's 15 yards. The way that she went under, and you can see this wave above you. Just think
Three
of it.
Cowboys offensive possessions.
You ready? 73 feet.
73
That's
feet.
almost 25 yards. Almost 25 yards. She was under that. Maya, she got the world record.
I came in off the top of the swell, 22 stories up. I mean, who does that?
How about that one?
I like the way
Zeke Elliott's still trying to get to 25 yards against the
She
Seahawks.
She had the record. Now they've named the coral reef that she smashed head first into after her. Maya's Reef.
Wow.
That's
scary.
crazy.
Above you, 73 feet of wave, and you're in that curl.
You either ride it or you die.
Hey,
Or both.
Brent,
I couldn't do it, sir.
And what did Zeke get? 34 yards.
Oh.
What did he got? That's what he fell boy.
Me and
Six,
Messi are.
6, 7 foot swells are pretty intimidating.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Remember, we were out there, I saw 6 foot. I said, you went to that, you did that.
You go down, like, if people go to Port Aransas to go surfing, and they're like, the wave kind of goes underneath, and they kind of go, and they go, yeah.
I could give you something.
We were in Hawaii.
You know,
I
that
know.
we were out there. I could give you something.
We were in Hawaii.
My old mayor, Paul Veloci's a surfer.
Cheryl's 6 feet tall.
Johnny Pavlik.
When we were in Hawaii, she got rolled by a wave that was at least twice as tall as she was. So 12 footer.
Where? Really?
Hawaii.
That was a Samoan teenager. You fell for that? That was a Samoan teenager.
Yeah, he did a
Tua.
cannonball out in American Samoa, and it reached us.
You ever jumped off a 10-foot down board? Just jump off and you're looking down. That's high, 10 foot.
That's how I love Ashes. He walked in. Cheryl's in the pool with a Samoan kid named Tua, and she goes, "It's a wave. I was just riding it. I was surfing, Ash." Sorry. Going to the room. Sorry.
Here we go. All right, we got to go our picks, boys. We got 4 games here.
Give me. Wait. How did we do last week? I picked Dallas to lose.
Yeah.
I think we picked the Seattle.
And we picked Pittsburgh.
To win. And Pittsburgh won. Yeah. Okay. So we did good. We were 2-2.
And Texas, they won. Not by the spread, but they won.
2-0.
So we'll take it.
Yes.
We'll take it. And A&M got by. They didn't get by much either. Both teams just barely got by.
Right.
All right, here we go. We're going to go college and pro. Texas.
I think I picked Tech to win that game.
Yeah,
Don't rat yourself out. People think you're smart.
You have plenty of points on that one.
Right.
Texas at home against TCU. Texas a 12-point favorite. Boys.
I think I would do what I always did in college, and I always won. I would take TCU to cover, but Texas will win that game.
I want Texas to win.
Texas
They're not going to
wins.
have any close games.
They don't cover them. You think so?
They're going to win big. The close calls last week.
You think their quarterback is just going, man, on every play, go deep?
Yeah.
Because our defense doesn't
They're gonna
tackle
cover about
anybody.
2 touchdowns or more. Brent.
Okay, all
I'm
right.
thinking that.
All right.
All right,
Texas, we all agree
what are you
Texas
going?
wins.
Well,
Texas wins.
Texas wins. A&M at Alabama. Alabama's at home by 17.
Alabama is going to beat A&M by 5 touchdowns.
You think Alabama?
Yeah.
Alabama covers.
We like A&M, but
I like A&M. They've got no chance. Coach, they barely beat Vanderbilt.
Yeah. Ooh. Well, that's what I'm saying. Texas and barely, and maybe we're going to do better. All right. Texas number 9 in the polls, and A&M with 13. All right, we go to Dallas. And
Can you believe A&M? By the way, can you believe that A&M beats Vandy by 3, and A&M is ahead of OU? OU's at 18.
Yeah.
It just shows you the polls are all about political posturing.
Oh,
Texas has no business being number 8.
No, and
Come
OU
on.
shouldn't have lost that ball.
No, but I mean, A&M would get beat by OU by 5 touchdowns.
I want you to win so we can beat them when we play them.
Oh,
We
yeah.
can way up in the
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Right, Dallas has dropped in the power rankings to number 15 now with that loss. But they
Generous.
didn't go too far down because they lost to Seattle.
Right. And they had a ton of yards.
Yeah, number 1 power rankings, KC. Second, Seattle. Third, Baltimore. They lost, but they lost to KC. And then Green Bay's number 4 and Buffalo number 5. Those are top 5 pro teams. Houston went down to 23 with no wins.
Houston's terrible.
Houston's going to have to fire Coach O'Brien, if for nothing else, just to emotionally salvage their season. I don't think any fan would go, no, that's wrong. You can't fire Bill. Any fan of the Texans would be like, give me Lincoln Riley from OU. For real. I think any Texans fan would say that O'Brien can.
Lincoln ain't going pro.
No.
He's got too much job security at OU.
Well, boys, the Cowboys play the Browns at home.
Browns are 2-1. Cowboys are 1-2.
Yep.
Is that a Monday night game?
That's a Sunday.
Sunday. Okay, Sunday noon.
So who is that? Is that
Cowboys.
That's Baker Mayfield?
Yeah, Baker. We're not in his home.
Okay.
Not in his home. We're at Dallas. 12 o'clock game. Boys.
Cowboys win.
Cowboys.
Okay, I'll go Cowboys.
Vikings and Texans. They almost took this game off completely.
The Vikings were so inept this last week when I watched it. I'm going to take the Texans in that game.
Texans -4.5. They're the favorite.
I'll take the Texans to cover that. They win by at least 7.
I'm taking the Texans too because they're due for a win.
Yes, sir.
They're due.
If they don't, I think O'Brien's gone.
Cowboys and Texans, right? All right, boys, that's it.
Folks, we love you. That's awesome. Brother Gary, it will be here.
We're sticking.
And stay tuned because the Hall of Fame, Ralph Salazar is a joy to listen